During last week's Republican presidential primary debate, most candidates agreed on the idea of using American military force to fight drug smuggling and migration. But as The Hill's Rafael Bernal reports, that sentiment comes with some dire warnings. He's joining us now this afternoon to give us some oversight. Thank you so much for being here. Now, talk to us. How did this start as a talking point that's now gaining steam for Republicans?
Well, it started like a lot of talking points in the modern Republican Party. It really started with Trump's campaign in 2016, with former President Trump's campaign in 2016. He took a very aggressive position, as we all know, on immigration, on the border, and on how to deal with Mexico on these issues. That position only incremented during his presidency, when we know through former Secretary of Defense Mark Esper that he even asked Esper at some time if having missile attacks into Mexican territory would be a productive way of dealing with cartel violence and smuggling of drugs like fentanyl, because that's such an important issue for Trumpism in general and for the modern conservative movement. You see most Republican candidates who don't have the depth in knowledge of the bilateral relationship that maybe Asa Hutchinson might have, using this Trump idea as a talking point, as a very easy way to score points with the Republican base.
Mm. What are some of the warnings that are being echoed by experts and by leaders here in the U.S. about this?
Well, I talked to two former UN ambassadors who really know the bilateral relationship, John Negroponte and Bill Richardson. I talked to a former Mexican ambassador, and even Democrats in Congress. Joaquin Castro from Texas put out a very loud alarm that this kind of talk will only hurt the relationship. Mexico right now is not at a political point where it's paying too much attention to these debates. But if that idea becomes normalized, it can hurt. It can very realistically hurt what's become the most important trading relationship pretty much in the world.
We've also heard from Mexico's president on this. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, Mexico's president has sort of towed a fine line. He has his own succession to think about. There's elections in Mexico in 2024, so he doesn't want to seem like he's threatened by the United States. He has, during this campaign, taken a lot of swipes at Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, especially when DeSantis was higher up in the polls. We know that Trump and López Obrador, the Mexican president, they sort of became friends in a way during Trump's presidency. They saw eye to eye and they understood each other, and they understood each other's approach to politics and to sometimes saying extravagant things that other politicians would not be willing to say. So he's not going to react as aggressively as most any other Mexican president would have, but that doesn't mean that these proposals are not registering and very deeply in Mexico.
Mm. Lots to continue to follow. Rafael, thank you so much for tracking it for us and for joining us today.
A pleasure.